welcome to News to You, bringing the news to you every Monday. I'm Cole.
I'm Reed.
And now for the news.
And now for our first lead story. Yesterday in Aleppo at about 10 a.m., there were 4 airstrikes that killed approximately 19 people that we know of now. There are more still being counted. It was the first airstrike since the ceasefire last Monday. Some people believe that it was a mistake that the airstrikes had occurred, but many others believe that it could not be possible. And now to Cole with our next lead story.
Thanks, Reed. For our next lead story, a 20-year-old man was shot dead in a Minnesota mall after stabbing 9 people. He proceeded to ask them if they're a Muslim, and if they answered no, then he would stab them. Luckily, no one was fatally injured. However, ISIS did claim responsibilities for the attacks. And now on to world news.
For our first world news story, we have K-pop gaining popularity in Australia. This is due to the fact that many South Koreans are currently moving into Australia, bringing to popularity. There are many songs such as Gangnam Style and Gentleman and many more that are gaining popularity in the country. And now for our next world news story.
Thanks, Reed. And now for our next world news story. The Daldakian River in the Russian city of Norilsk has just turned blood red. Residents think it's possibly the result of a metal plant leakage near the river. Norilsk is known as one of the most polluted cities in the country of Russia and in the entire world. So events like this occur very often. And now to Reed with national news.
And now for our first story in national news. We have a bombing that occurred in New York on Saturday night. There are 29 people injured and another bomb found that never went off. Luckily, the police caught it in time. The attacks are believed to be intentional, but they have not yet been linked to ISIS. And now, on to our next report.
The first Republican and Democrat debate is to be held on September 26th. Unfortunately, Libertarian Gary Johnson and Green Party member Jill Stein failed to qualify for the debate. They each came in at 8.4% and 3.2% respectively. They hope to be at the 15% mark in the polls by the time the next debate comes around.
And now for our state and local news. We have a box van that crashed into the iconic Pink Elephant car wash trying to go through the car wash on Saturday at approximately 11 p.m. The car wash collapsed on the Brock's truck and a Mercedes right next to it. And now for Cole.
Thanks, Reed. And now for your next local news story. The entire Garfield High School football team knelt during the national anthem at a Friday night high school football game against West Seattle. Joey Thomas, the head coach of Garfield High School, said that many of the players had faced racial profiling at some point in their lives, and that's why they decided to take this form of protest. And now for school news.
And now for news about Seattle Christian schools. Apex, the robotics team, is leaving on Thursday to go to San Francisco and participate in the most popular event in the US, hosted by Team 2554, the Cheesy Poofs. The event is called Cheesy Champs, and our team will be returning on Monday afternoon next week. Go Apex!
And now for your next school story. The SES High School and Middle School cross-country team has a meet tomorrow from 3:45 to 5:45 at Magnuson Park. So be sure to go and support your SES cross-country. Go Warriors! And now for sports. We're going to be taking you over to Wilson Playfields with Doug.
And now for a story on Wilson Playfields. On September 13th, we had this park renovated for $1.2 million. And the park director says that in at least 1 year, the park may be closed again for more renovations. Cool.
Thanks, Doug. And now for your next sports story. The Seattle Mariners are chasing for a spot in the AL wildcard game in this October. Their 8-game win streak was just snapped by the Houston Astros. However, they are still only 3 games back from the second wildcard spot, and they are currently tied with the Detroit Tigers and the Houston Astros. Go Mariners.
And our next story, Ford is planning on removing the steering wheel and pedals by 2021. This will be done by making a fully autonomous car that is past all current states of electronics. And now for Cole.
iOS update, iOS 10, was just released by Apple this week. Some of the big updates include a new and improved messaging app with things like a new sticker keyboard, bigger emojis, and new message animations. Also included are an updated music app with a new interface and easier to access adding music for Apple Music. Also included is the new Maps app that allows you to schedule reservations for restaurants and Uber and find things like gas stations and coffee shops along your route. And lastly included is the new Home app, which allows you to access devices at home like security systems and automated blinds and lights and security cameras all from your phone. Thanks for watching News to You. I'm Cole.
I'm Reed.
Stay classy, Seattle Christian.